Every spring, our timelines explode with images and videos of black teens pulling up to prom like celebrities. We see it all: rented luxury cars, red carpets, designer outfits, fireworks. Prom, in many black communities, isn't just a dance. It's a statement. It's a celebration. It's the moment. But have you ever stopped to ask, why? Why is prom such a big deal? Why do families go all out, sometimes spending thousands for one night? What is it about prom that turns it into the pinnacle of achievement for so many? To understand prom culture in the black community, we need to talk about the socio-economic triangle and where different classes stand when it comes to wealth, value, and what success looks like. Now, at the top of that triangle, you've got the upper class, families with generational wealth, diversified assets, and long-term investments. These aren't just people with money, they're people with strategy. For them, prom isn't a financial priority. It's a side note. College is the focus, careers are the goal, ownership is the plan. These families are thinking in decades, not weekends. They're investing in real estate, mutual funds, Roth IRAs, life insurance policies, and 529 college savings accounts. Every dollar is meant to multiply, not just to be seen. Prom might get a budget, but it's not the moment because their kids' futures are already mapped out. Prom is just one of many celebrations on the journey, not the destination. Their mindset, legacy, sustainability, leverage. Now, middle-class families often aim to follow that same blueprint. They may not have the same wealth, but they value the process, sacrifice now for payoff later. Prom is celebrated, yeah, but it's not the finish line. It's a checkpoint. It might mean working overtime, tightening budgets, or skipping luxuries elsewhere, but the long-term vision still exists. These families are betting on potential, even if it's a stretch. But now when we move down to many lower-income black communities, especially those stuck in cycles of generational poverty, the picture changes. And not because of personal failure, no, but because of systemic design. In these communities, the future often feels uncertain. College might not feel realistic. Good jobs may seem out of reach. Rent's due, bills pile up, and hope is often rationed. So prom becomes the moment, the one guaranteed celebration, the one chance to feel seen, elevated, important. It's not just a dance, it's a crowning, a chance to feel like royalty, even just for one night. And that's why families who may struggle to pay bills will spend thousands on prom, on luxury cars, tuxedos, designer gowns, custom shoes, flash jewelry, even security escorts. It's a production, a spectacle. But here's the question: what does that spectacle cost? Because while upper-class families are investing in assets, things that gain value, lower-class families are often spending on symbols of wealth. Things that look like success, but they don't build success. It's not about judgment, it's about patterns, and what those patterns reveal. This disparity isn't accidental, it's the result of centuries of systemic oppression. Let's talk redlining. That's a practice that began in the 1930s where banks literally drew red lines around black neighborhoods on maps, and they denied resident loans, mortgages, and credit based purely on race. That meant that black families couldn't buy homes in desirable areas, they couldn't build equity, they couldn't access the same schools, the same hospitals, or job opportunities. They were locked out of wealth before they even got a chance to compete. And you add to that laws that prevented black people from opening bank accounts, getting business loans, or even inheriting wealth. So when we talk about black families not investing in stocks or real estate, we're not just talking about choices. What we're talking about is people who were never allowed to participate in the game, people who were told in every way possible that wealth was not for them. So, what happens? When real wealth is inaccessible, people turn to visible wealth. To clothes, to chains, to cars, to parties, to anything that says, I matter. Because when the system denies you legacy, you build lifestyle. And prom? Well, prom becomes that lifestyle's climax. But here's the good news. It's not over for us. Today, things are changing. Slowly, but they are changing. We now can open bank accounts, we can invest, we can buy property, build businesses, and pass on wealth. The system, yeah, it still has cracks. Racism still exists, but for the first time in centuries, access is possible. The challenge now is mindset. We have to unlearn some habits, to break some cycles, to start asking different questions. What's my money doing for me? Am I investing in moments or in futures? What does success actually look like? Now, it doesn't mean that we stop celebrating. It means we start celebrating smarter. We shift from spending just to be seen to spending in ways that build. Imagine a world where prom is still beautiful, but it's just the beginning of a long journey of wins. Where kids pull up in rented Teslas and graduate with zero debt because their 529 plan was set up in first grade. Where they rock designer and they own stock in the same company. That's not just fantasy. That's a blueprint. Prom isn't just about dressing up, it's about what people feel when they do. For many Black teens, prom is a rare moment of glory, a time to be celebrated in a world that rarely does. But as we look ahead, the real question becomes, how do we create more moments worth celebrating? Not just for one night, but for a lifetime.